You're being lied to because you can make a lot of money on social media without having a huge following. I've seen a lot of social media experts talk about how you need to get to X amount of followers or to 10,000 amount of followers or to X amount of views before you can try to monetize your account. Now, it's true that on certain social media platforms, you do need to reach a threshold before you can monetize your account and bring in ad revenue. But that's not the only way to monetize your social media. You gotta think outside the box. So some of you might be saying, okay, well, if I wanna do brand deals, I'm gonna have to get a lot of followers or else I don't really have an audience for them to market their products to. And that's only about half right. That's because now UGC content creators are a thing. With UGC content or user-generated content, if you can tell a story about a product or brand or an experience that you've had, and you can package it together in a piece of content that's engaging and makes people wanna watch it, it really doesn't matter how many followers you have because brands wanna pay people to make content like that so that the brand can take that piece of content and then use it on their page or use it as an ad. With UGC, they don't really care about promoting it to your audience specifically. They just want you to be in the content and to make the content so it feels more organic and authentic. So UGC content is different than sponsored content. So a sponsored brand deal where they're trying to promote a product or service to your audience that you built on social media, then yeah, the bigger the audience, the more money you can make. But again, that's not the only way to make money with social media. That's just one of many ways. So I even landed a brand deal with Adobe when I was at less than 5,000 followers on Instagram. And I was only at about 200 or 300 subscribers on YouTube. But I landed the brand deal because they just so happened to be in the market for somebody who knows how to use Premiere Pro and they wanted to promote it. So they didn't really care how many followers I had. They just knew based on my content that I was good at using Premiere Pro, or at least so they say. So I got the brand deal because they wanted a piece of content that they could promote to their audience. They didn't care so much about my audience. So you need to think bigger than just ad revenue and brand deals. Okay, so one thing you should know is that the information I'm about to share with you is based on the idea that you have a skill that people are willing to pay you for. And also that you're really good at what you do. If you don't have a skill that somebody's willing to pay you for, or maybe you do, but you're just not good enough at it yet, the key word there is yet, then you got some work to do. But assuming you have a skill that you know people will pay you for, and you're already objectively good at what it is that you do, then this video is for you. So first of all, if you want to make money with social media, the fastest way to do that is to have a business that you can promote. I literally did this when I quit my job. I knew I could make videos and I knew people would pay me for it because I already had some clients, and the job that I was hired to do, I was hired as a social media marketer and a content creator. So in my head, I was like, okay, clearly there's a demand for this skill that I have. And yes, I know what you're gonna say. I was already a content creator, social media marketer, so this was easier for me to do than, someone else in some other industry. And yes, I get it, that is true. I did have a bit of a head start there, but that does not mean it's impossible for you to learn how to make good content. It will take time, it will be a challenge, but the more skills you have in life and in general, and the more related those skills are, and the more they stack on top of each other, the more money you will make and the more successful you will be. And this is true regardless of what industry you're in. And plus, I put out tons of content showing everyday people how to create good content. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Anyways, think about it like this. If you're really good at what you do and you're like a 10 out of 10 on a technical level, but then you can't communicate with other people that you're good at what you do you really think that people are gonna perceive you as a 10 out of 10 at what you do? The answer is no, so why would they pay you for that? If you're a 10 out of 10 at what you do, and you're a 10 out of 10 at communicating that you're good at what you do, then you will be 10 times more successful at whatever it is that you do. All right, so I'm gonna tell you a bit of a story about myself to help illustrate my point. As soon as I quit my job, I immediately started posting content like there's no tomorrow. I started offering one service to one ideal client, which was commercial video production for consumer brands. And I just kept making ads for my portfolio, which was my craft, and I would film behind the scenes content of how I made those videos. And that was the social media content that I'd be posting, because it's a way for me to prove that I can do what it is that I say I can do. I show the full process of how I made these videos. So you need to show the full process of how you do whatever it is that you do, because that is undeniable proof that you can do what it is that you say you can do. So anyways, I quit my job. I started posting social media content like crazy, promoting my services. I had around 1,000 followers on Instagram and about 200 followers on TikTok, and pretty much nothing on YouTube. But people I already knew started to see the types of videos that I was able to produce. And they saw my behind the scenes content of how I planned and executed everything. So before I knew it, word got out and people were contacting me to make videos for their businesses. And there was a direct correlation between the amount of content that I would post post and the amount of money that I would make. So I was able to quit my job and make a full-time income while paying for rent, food, and all my living expenses, 100% directly caused from the income that I was able to generate by promoting my services on social media. Fast forward to today, I've been working for myself 100% full-time, and I've even expanded my service offering to not just include the production of the ads themselves, but also running the ads, doing the media buying, building funnels, email and SMS marketing campaigns, and doing all that stuff partly with a team for my clients. And also within that time, I've managed to grow my TikTok from those 200 followers to almost 90,000 at this point. My Instagram's at about 13K and my YouTube is at about 3,000. And guess what? I still haven't made a single dollar off of ad revenue. So the reason I'm sharing this story with you is because if you believe that you cannot make money with social media until you hit some arbitrary amount of followers, then you're right. But on the other hand, if you believe that you can make money on social media regardless of how many followers that you have, then you're also right. Your beliefs will dictate the actions that you take. That's because if you believe it's not possible, then you're not even gonna try. Or at least try hard enough for long enough to see it through. But if you believe that it is possible, then you will act accordingly. You will make content about what you do and you will post that content like there's no tomorrow because you believe it's possible and that it's actually achievable if you just put in the reps. Okay, look, I understand that it's hard and it takes a lot of trial and error and a lot of time to make this social media thing work. Think about it, it takes a long time for people to see your content. They're not just staring at their phones waiting for you to post. It takes time for them to actually stumble upon it and then consume it so that you're top of mind, and then they develop an interest in you, and then they want to contact you to do business with you, and then they want to go tell everyone about it. All that stuff takes time. We're talking about months, years at this point. It's a chain reaction, a sequence of events that happens, but once you start to see it working, it becomes addicting. You become obsessed, and you just want to keep making content about your craft because you love doing it. Because A, it just pays to do so, and B, you're just making content about the stuff that you love doing anyways. If you're wondering what you should post, then all you have to do is ask yourself this question. If somebody were to ask me to prove that I'm the best at my craft, what would I need to show them and tell them for them to believe me? The answer to that question is what you should post. And yes, there's a lot more strategy and nuance and techniques that you can implement. You can learn all of those by following me on social media, by the way. But when you're just getting started, keep it simple and keep it consistent. If your content strategy works in its simplest form, then it will work if you add complexity. But if your content and production strategy doesn't work in a simple form, then it definitely won't work just because you add complexity to it. Just think about how many viral videos you see online that are just basic videos, minimal editing, basic lighting, if any at all, and super simple ideas that are just well communicated to the right audience, with the right messaging at the right time. Look, I love making content and posting it and seeing how people react and having conversations about stuff that just interests me, and doing that has literally changed my life. And guess what? I hope that my videos will do the same for you. So please hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of the social media marketing tips that I'm gonna share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.